All right, today we'll learn about the Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni is one of the mitzvahs. We'll sit a little closer today. Pesach Sheni is one of the commandments in this week's Torah portion. There's also the commandment, Pesach Sheni, and the commandment of making the trumpets. Moshe had to make trumpets for himself to gather the Jewish people and to announce things when they're moving, when they're fighting. And so now we're learning about let's learn about Pesach Sheni. Now outside of Israel, they're learning Parshas Nasa. So you people outside of Israel learning Torah Lishma. Just for the sake of learning Torah. Ready? All right, let's go. We're on now chapter 9. Aleph in chapter 9. Good? With me, everyone?
Tough.
V'yadaber Hashem el Moshe b'midbar Sinai. God spoke to Moshe in Midbar Sinai. Bashana Hashenis, let's say some years was right, on the second year when they're leaving the land of Israel, B'chodesh Rishon, on the first month. It was they left Egypt in Nisan, and now this is right after the second Nisan. All right, let's look at Rashi. B'chodesh Rishon, Parasha Shebarosh HaSefer Lo Ne'amra Ad Iyar. This is only said in the month of Iyar. In other words, 1 month, almost a year and a month after the Jews left Egypt. Lamadata, so you learn, she'ein seder mukdam and ma'uchar b'Torah. So you learn that in the Torah, it's not necessarily in chronological order. V'lama lo patach b'zeh. Why was this not said in the beginning? Right. We learned already previously, but Echad L'chodesh HaSheni, we learned already another place that it talks about the first day of Iyar, previously, first day of Iyar, Echad B'chodesh HaSheni. It says right in the beginning of the book of Bamidbar. See, right in the beginning of this whole book, it says God spoke to Israel. If so, it should be right after that, right? B'chodesh Rishon. Why does it say after that B'chodesh Rishon? Right in the beginning, talked about the first year that they left Egypt. It should have, and then afterwards it talks about the first month that they left after Egypt. So if so, there's no order in the Mishnah, in the Torah. Vayadaber Hashem al Moshe b'midbar Sinai, in the second year that they left Egypt, on the B'chodesh Rishon, in the first month. And this is what he said. Vayasu b'nei Yisrael as a Pesach v'moedu. The Jewish people made the Pesach in the order that they were supposed to make it. In other words, they made the Pesach beforehand, a few weeks or whatever before. On the 14th day of this month, of the first month, Bein Arbaim, they made the first Passover. So the Jewish people, they left Egypt. Of course, they made Pesach. Then the first year they were left, the anniversary of the first year that they left Egypt, they made the Pesach again. Right? They made the Pesach again. Now it says, Vayedaber Hashem el Moshe, Vayedaber Moshe el Bnei Yisrael lasos Pesach. God, Moshe told the Jewish people to make the Pesach offering. Okay, they already said that they already made the Pesach offering. Let's look and see what Rashi says. Dalit Vayedaber Moshe Ma Talmud Lomer. What is it coming to tell you? That Moshe told the Jewish people to make the Pesach. Just a sentence before it says that the Jewish people made the Pesach. As soon as Moshe heard all of the holidays at Sinai, he repeated it again. He repeated again to the Jewish people what all the commandments are about the holidays. So he repeated the holidays. All right. Vayehi anashim, and there were people. Asher hayu, that were. Tameim benefesh adam. They were impure. V'lo yachlu lasot Pesach. They had touched the dead body, and they couldn't make the Pesach. Okay, there's midrashim about this. Who exactly were these people that were impure because they touched the dead body? Rashi doesn't deal with it. Some people say that these were the people that they killed the Makoshesh Eitzim. In any case, these people were impure when the first Pesach came around, the second Pesach, when they were in Egypt. And they were not able to make the Korban Pesach on that day. Okay, now the Korban Pesach we're going to see is very, very important, like we talked about before. It's the only one of two commandments that is punishable by death. A positive commandment that's punishable by death. Death from heaven. These people, they were impure when the first Passover came along. In other words, the first Passover after they left Egypt. They came, Moshe, and they came in front of Aaron by Yom Hu on that day. Let's look at Rashi. Lifnei Moshe v'lifnei Aaron. Shneim Yoshvim, both of them were sitting in the base of Midrash. But they came b'shalom. They were sitting and learning Torah and teaching Torah. They came, they taught, they asked them. V'lo yitachen lomar zeh achar zeh. It can't be that they asked one after the other. She'im, that they asked Moshe and then they asked Aaron. Moshe ha'lo yada, that if Moshe didn't know, for sure Aaron didn't know. So they asked Moshe and Aaron at the same time. And these people, they said, we are impure. We were impure. This is right after Pesach. Right? And they weren't able to make it, 2 weeks after. Why should we be any less? Why should we miss out to make the sacrifice of God b'moado in its proper time b'toch b'nei Yisrael among the Jewish people? Why not? What did we do wrong? Let's look at Rashi. Loma nigra. Now here we have a very big question. The question is, why isn't this part of the Torah? Why do these men have to come and ask what's the law? Why wasn't it just part of the law, part of the Torah when God gave it on Mount Sinai? God gave Moshe everything. So he should have given him this law also. Lama Nigra. We are now on Bamidbar, chapter Tes, sentence number Zion. Chet. We're learning about the Pesach Sheni. So there's a group of men that came to Moshe and they said, what are we going to do? We want to make the Pesach offering. And it wasn't our fault we didn't make it. We were impure. And an impure person can't go into the holy temple. They touched the dead body. What can we do? So they said, Loma Nigara, why should be any less? Let's look at Rashi. Omer Lahem. En Kedoshim Karevim Betuma. They said, Moshe and Aaron said to these men, I'm sorry, but if you were impure, it's from Hashem. The law is you can't go and make the korban sacrifice. You were exempt. Omer Lo, they said back, listen, we've got a better idea. Yizroka dam aleinu, b'kahonim, tahorim, v'yochel abasar l'tahorim. Let us bring the sacrifice. We won't go into the holy temple. We'll bring the sacrifice. Touching an animal doesn't make it impure. We'll bring the sacrifice. We'll give it to the Kohanim. The Kohanim, they can sacrifice it. They'll sprinkle the blood on us. They'll sprinkle the blood for us on the altar and give the meat to eat to somebody else. We'll appoint someone else to eat. Omer Lahem, Moshe said to them, good idea. Imdu v'eshma. Stand still and I'll hear what to do. Who's going to tell him what to do? God. Says Rashi, Katalmid amuvtach lishmoa mipi rabo. It's like a pupil that is certain to hear the answer from his rabbi. Ashrei yilud isha, happy is the human being, asher shekach muvtach, that he is so certain. This was trusted, he can trust in God. God will tell him whatever he wants to know, whenever he wants to know. Shekol zaman shehaya rutzeh, anytime that Moshe wanted, hayam edaber meshechina, he could speak with God, and he could find out what the law is. Ru'uya hayasab parsha, really, this should have been said. Lehayamar al yedei Moshe. It should have been said with the rest of the Torah, right? It should say this should be part of the laws of Passover. When Moshe gave the laws of Passover over there in Parshas Bo, he should have said, this is how you make the Passover, and someone who misses the first Passover can make a second. Why was it said? Why did we have to wait until somebody came and asked Moshe a question that he didn't know the answer to? But these people, God wanted to give them the merit that things should be done by means of them. This should be done by means of them. That sometimes it rolls around merit to someone who deserves it. In other words, God wanted to give them a prize. We see later on something similar with Pinchas. We'll see in a couple of weeks. With Pinchas also, that he jumps up and nobody knows what to do when Zimri is doing these terrible things, is what to do. Is all of a sudden, Pinchas stands up and he knows what to do. And he knows that nobody knew what to do, only he knew. So why is that? Because God wants sometimes that to give a reward to people. So it comes to show that sometimes if you know that something is wrong and no one's taking action, and you're sure 100% that you know what to do, even if the great rabbis don't do it, then you have to do it. That's what the question is here. Vayomer Hashem and Moshe, so God said to Moshe, listen to this, this is the commandment. Vayomer Hashem and Moshe, God said to Moshe, and the Beryl Ben Israel, speak to the Jewish people, Lemor, and say to them, Ish ki yet tameh lenefesh, anyone that is impure, has touched a dead body or was impure, Obadirach Rachoka, touched a sheretz, or other reasons, there's other types of impurity, a zov, etc. Rachoka lachem is far away. And he wants to make a Pesach to Hashem, and he can't, he's far away and he can't make the Pesach, or he is impure, he can't make the Pesach. And the Rebbe, well, the Lubavitcher Rebbe points out, this word lechem is an extra word, seemingly. Anyone who is a far away, lechem, for you. So the Rebbe says that physically the law is that a person that purposely does not make the first, we'll see in a moment, does not make the first Passover as that he can't make the second Passover. But spiritually, there's a person that purposely wants to keep away from Hashem, as it's never too late. Even lachem, even if he purposely does it. Let's see. Oh, b'derech rochoka. Let's look at Yud, Rashi, Nikud alav. There is a 2 dots on it. If you look over to see the rechoka, on the hay, there's a dot. Lomer to say, lo sherechoka vadai. He's not certainly far away. Doesn't mean really that he's so far away that he can't come. But what does it mean? He was just outside of the temple the whole time of the Shechita. That's also considered to be far away. Pesach Sheni, he should make a second Passover. Pesach Sheni, it's a little bit different than the first Passover. Matzah and Chometz are with him in the house. Listen, when the Jews left Egypt, so they put blood on the doorposts, and they took the sheep in to watch it for 4 days. That you don't have to do afterwards. That was only that time. You didn't put blood on the doorposts, and you didn't have to take a sheep into your house like that. But afterwards, in other words, the second Passover that they made, when they made the real Passover, so of course you can't have chametz in your house and etc. But Pesach Sheni is not as severe. Let's see what the law is. Matzah v'chometz imo b'bayit. You can have chometz in your house in Pesach Sheni. Ve'en sham yotov, and it's not a holiday. Ve'en iser chometz, and it's not even forbidden to eat chometz. Ela imo ba'achila, so only to eat with the Pesach Sheni, the sheep or the goat. When you're making Pesach Sheni, you can't eat chometz with that, but you can go home afterwards and eat a big cake, Pesach Sheni cake. B'chodesh hasheni ba'arba'as, we're on sentence number Yud Aleph. B'chodesh hasheni ba'arba'as yom l'chodesh, on the second month, on the 14th day, bein arbayim, in the evening, yasu oto, you should make it. Al matzot, with matzah and morim and bitter herbs, you should eat it. Lo yesh ilu mimenu ad boker, the same thing as like the Pesach offering. Don't leave anything in the morning. Don't break any bones in it. Like all the laws of Pesach, you should make. Listen to this. Ha'ish asher hu tahor, but a person that is not impure, ubederech lo haya, and he wasn't far away, v'chadal lasot Pesach, and he purposely did not want to make the Passover, v'nichrata nefesh hahi mi'amel, that person will be cut off from the Jewish people. It's a punishment from heaven. He'll die before he's 60, before he's 50. Ki korban Hashem lo hikriv, because this purposely he did not make the sacrifice. V'moado cheto yisa ishahu, he will bear his sin. V'ki yagur itchem vir. What about if somebody converts? V'asa pesach l'Hashem, he'll make the Passover offering. Kechukas pesach mishpato ken yaseh. Let's see what this means. Let's look at Rashi. Ki yagur itchem vir b'aseh pesach. Yochol kol ha'megayer yaseh pesach miyad. You might think that if a person converts, a non-Jew, converts to Judaism, that he'll make the Pesach offering immediately. Let's say he converts to Judaism the day before Passover. So that's it, he's a Jew, has to make the Passover, right? Talmud Lomer says, Chuka achas. What does it mean, Chuka achas? Kach mashma'u, ki yogor itchem ger, ubo eit lasot Pesach im chaverov, kechuka u'kamishpat yaseh, he has to make it according to the law. The law is if a person converts right before Passover, that he has to wait 7 days. It says he's not supposed to make Passover with everybody else. He has to wait. It's as though he is impure. As though he is impure. Let's just see what the comment over here says. 1 second. One second, just excuse me. Yes, good. So in other words, if a person is converts, that he does not he missed the Passover, then he can't make it immediately. He has to make the Passover, the second Pesach, with everybody else when he becomes pure. Because it says that a person that converts is like coming from the grave. So he has to wait those 7 days of impurity. All right, let us go to learn Pirkei Avos. Pirkei Avos is very interesting because it's talking about the 5 pupils of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. The 5 pupils of Rabbi